Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of NFL Draft Triple Take presented by UPMC. I'm Mike Prisuta from the DVE Morning Show and Steelers.com, joined as always by Dale Lolley of SNR and Matt Williamson of SNR. Matt and Dale are the SNR's tag team for The Drive, which you can catch on SNR and other Steelers social media platforms. And the three of us have been doing this for a number. This is our second or third year, and I can't tell you how many of these type of shows we've done.
I believe this is year 3, Mike.
Yeah, we're cranking them out in our sleep, but we love doing it. Thank you for finding us and giving a listen to what we have to say in this edition of Triple Take about edge rushers. Man, this was a fun evaluation, and there's a lot of these guys. Matt, I guess just a natural evolution. If college football, if they're just going to throw it all over the yard, then you're going to rush the passer and figure out ways to do that. And college football defenses are figuring out how to rush the passer off the edge.
Yeah, and we did the defensive tackle triple take, and you mentioned, boy, how freaky those guys are. And you just watch the combine. Well, this group takes it up to another level. And I think this is the strongest position in the entire draft. And to be honest, I think there's 8 edge guys that are going to deserve first-round consideration, and 5 of them might even go in the first half of the first round.
Yeah, this is a crazy talented position this year. And a lot of times you see these guys, and we've had to kind of project, well, he has all these measurables, but he didn't have the production. We've seen some of those guys in recent years. These guys both had the just ridiculous they displayed at the combine, and also had a lot of production in college. So it's a really fun evaluation, and it wouldn't surprise me, not having seen your guys' list before we've done this, the list that you two put together. If we have we mentioned about 8 guys, as Matt mentioned, in this top, in each of our top 5 here. Yeah,
it's and they're really fun to watch the highlights and the way these guys play with the energy and the amazing closing speed and aggression that they display. A lot of teams are going to get fat on defense in this draft. It's a good year to need a pass rusher. Matt, let's start with you because you and I have the same number 5. Georgia guy once removed, Jermaine Johnson II of Florida State, who left Georgia and then blew it up for Florida State in the ACC. I can see watching that Georgia defense why he left and went somewhere else. But, boy, he played with a Georgia defender type of dominance and production and impact this year, didn't he?
Yeah, and I don't hold the transfer against him at all. I mean, considering the team he left, the defense he left, he was a dominant player for Florida State this year. He may have been the best player at the Senior Bowl. He's long, he's thick, he's very physical. He's already a great run defender. I mean, he puts his hands on you and really stuns you, but can also run around you. A lot of energy, a lot of physicality from Johnson.
And Dale, you've got Trayvon Walker of Georgia 5th.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that kind of forced Jermaine Johnson to transfer, and Trayvon Walker, at 272 pounds at the NFL Scouting Combine, ran a 4.5 140. I mean, that's just unheard of. He had sacks in both the college playoff games last season in wins over Michigan and Alabama. So that's production against high-level competition. And
who'd they beat in the semis?
That would be Michigan, Mike.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah, I thought you might have forgotten about that.
I did.
He's big enough to take on tackles in the run game, but he's fast enough to beat them around the edge. He just turned 21 in December, which I think matters. I mean, this is still a young ascending player, and you have it's a nice marriage of skill and athleticism.
And you've got Dale, you've got Jermaine Johnson, number 4. Matt, you went with David Ojabo of Michigan, the guy from Nigeria via Scotland.
I forget his path exactly.
That's the one. That's it.
That's it. That is it. And real quick, I have Trayvon Walker 3, who Dale just talked about, and Ojabo and Walker to me don't know what they don't know yet. I mean, as terms of pass rushers, they don't have really any plan. They just kind of come off the ball and are a better athlete than those around them and still make all kinds of plays. And Ojabo is very raw and reminds me a lot of Oway from Penn State, who went to the Ravens at the end of the first round.
Except he had 11 sacks last year.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like Dale said before, he's got all the traits, but he also produced in the Big Ten where Oway didn't. Again, very flexible, all sort of moldable clay here, and he plays hard.
Yeah, he had 2.5 sacks against Wisconsin last year. You know, Wisconsin's known for their offensive linemen. Mm-hmm. He had two sacks each in games against Michigan State and Penn State last year. I mean, that's high-level production against, well, some of those are pretty good teams.
Sure.
Yeah. I've got George Karlaftis of Purdue as my number 4. This guy impresses me with athleticism and with power. He can walk the blocker back into the quarterback, actually shove him back into the quarterback. He can win with speed rush. Made a lot of really reactionary plays, tip picks and blocking kicks and athletic type of things. A little bit of a history of pass rushers at Purdue, so I went with him there. And now you guys can tell me where I'm wrong here, because I've been listening since mid-season about how Aiden Hutchinson is maybe the first overall pick, and he's at least first or second overall pick, and he's the best this, and he's the best that, and he's a Heisman Trophy runner-up guy, and I ain't seen it. I'm not saying that he is not a very good player in a group of very good players, but I almost put him 3 on my list just on principle. Great game against Ohio State, 3 sacks, and that was Michigan's biggest win in 10 years. But I see him as one of many, not head and shoulders above. Matt, what am I not seeing?
No, I 100% agree. It doesn't shock me that you'd say that, considering his alma mater, but I feel the same way.
No, seriously, I'm down the middle on that. I mean, I
know.
I was banging the Devin Bush drum a couple of years ago. If I see a player, I see a player. But maybe I heard one too many times how great this guy is. I don't know. It seems like he got anointed, and that's everybody's story, and they're sticking to it.
Yeah, honestly, I have him closer to Jermaine Johnson or Karlaftis than I do the clear number 1, even though he is number 1 on my board. And again, this class is awesome, but he's not Chase Young or a Bosa brother or Myles Garrett. I think he's a very good player. I think he's very safe player.
I'm not trying to tear
special.
I didn't come here to bury him, but to me, he's one of many, not the one, and then everybody else.
That's this entire draft, though, guys, is it not? I mean, we're still talking about who the number 1 overall pick is going to be, because there's not a clear-cut number 1 guy. The one thing I'll say about Aiden Hutchinson that really stood out to me was his 6.73 3-cone drill at the NFL Scouting Combine. It was the 3rd fastest for any player at the Combine. Right. For any player, not defensive linemen or edge guys, any player. 6.73 is special.
Mm-hmm. His first 10 yards were really good in the 40 too. He does have some burst and things like that for sure. A little bit short-armed. He can play a little high. He's a really good prospect, but I'm with you, Mike. I don't think he's a special prospect.
Yeah, so I kind of put him 3 just to put him 3. I've got Kayvon Thibodeaux from Oregon as my number 2. Dale, you've got the same guy number 2, and Matt, you've got the same guy number 2. And it seemed like it made a little bit of a ruffle when he ran at the Combine, but didn't work out. But man, I think this guy's really, really good. And one of the reasons they said he didn't work out at the Combine is he wants to do the linebacker drills and the defensive line drills at Oregon's Pro Day. This guy could be an outside linebacker dropping back, or he could be an edge rusher.
Yeah, I mean that's really all these guys. If you look at them, because of the size that they have, there aren't any of these 240-pound guys here. These guys are all 250 plus. Thibodeaux is 254. There's a lot of upside there. He just turned 21 in December. So, again, you're getting a guy who is still ascending as a player.
And, Mike, to your point, I think he's best, playing out of a 2-point stance, sort of a Steeler outside linebacker type.
Yeah, and I brought that up because, Hutchinson, you're not going to have him dropping back.
No.
He's coming off he's going forward, not backward. My number 1, you guys both have Hutchinson. I picked Trayvon Walker, and here's why I did it. Dale, you mentioned the ridiculous time in the 40. Here's what Daniel Jeremiah had to say about him during the Combine. Quote, "A creative defensive coordinator is going to look at Trayvon Walker and say, the world has completely opened up. You can play him inside, outside. You can rush him, drop him. You can play him on the ball, off the ball. You want to be able to give quarterbacks different looks and not show your hand. A chess piece like that allows you to play that way. I'm in.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But to you guys' point earlier, I mean, the difference between number 1 and number 5 in this group, really,
not much.
Not much at all. I mean, these guys are all first-round guys and probably top 15 to 18 pick guys. I mean, that's what we're talking about here.
They're going to go quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the I guess we're all in agreement, the strength position of what is a very deep draft without, forget that there's not that marquee quarterback guy. There's a lot of talent to be had.
Absolutely. I mean, I just think that, I think defensively this draft is maybe a little bit of a game changer. Might not have the star power of some previous drafts, but you're going to be getting guys into the 3rd and 4th rounds who have an opportunity to come in and start right away for a lot of teams.
Yeah, I mean, predicting who next year's defensive rookie of the year is going to be
man.
Oh boy, best of luck with that. It used to be Chase Young comes in the league, he'll win it.
Likewise, it'll be the same way for the offensive rookie of the year.
True.
There's no star quarterback. Yeah,
right.
Are you guys sure they haven't given that defensive award to Hutchinson yet?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
Anointing him, yeah.
He probably will earn it. That's going to do it for our edge rusher analysis. I want to remind everybody you can catch programs such as this one on all of the Steelers' social media platforms, and we're going to keep cranking them out right up until the draft. So however and wherever you found us, please continue to do so. Until next time, for Matt Williamson and Dale Lolley, I'm Mike Prisuta. You've been listening, watching, reading, immersing yourself 1,000% into the NFL Draft Triple Take presented by UPMC.